Hey guys, Waverly's about to join me. There she is! Hi! So we are out at Davis Wade Stadium in Starkville. We're getting ready for the Egg Bowl. We're in between live shots right now. I'm standing on my tippy toes. I just want everyone to know that, and this is kind of painful.
It's kind of short. She's
Get a little calf workout here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we walked around the junction earlier to get our little Thanksgiving tailgating thing going on, and so it was lots of fun. We met some people from Jackson.
Ran into some familiar faces.
Yeah.
Got offered some yummy food. Too bad I was already stuffed from eating all the press box goodies, but I definitely stole a piece of cake, so that was great. Definitely some familiar faces out here, and I wish we could have walked around and shown you guys the atmosphere or the dog walk, because that was pretty cool.
And so we just want to know where y'all are spending y'all's Thanksgiving, and if y'all are going to watch in the game, and what are y'all's predictions?
Yeah. Score predictions, game predictions. Any
questions that y'all have about the game? Hottie Toddy. That's my girl.
I did a poll on my Twitter, and I said it was really more of a question of how many State fans I had following me versus Ole Miss fans.
And to be honest, I was a little disappointed with.
They were very swayed results. It is apparent that I have more Mississippi State followers than Ole Miss.
So come on, I need my Ole Miss faithful to follow Rachel.
Yeah, because need someone. So from Byram's watching.
Byram, hi. Cool. Hail State.
From
Gosh, we got lots of State fans.
Ole Miss.
There you go,
All
Devin.
right, there you
go.
So I gotta ask, do you guys like the idea of it being on Thanksgiving? Better on Thanksgiving? Not on Thanksgiving? I have mixed feelings about it. I'm happy it's on Thanksgiving because I get this weekend off. So I'm perfectly okay with not getting turkey with my family today, because I will get it on Sunday for sure.
Yeah.
So, but we talked about it on the way up here.
Yes.
If I were a student, I think it'd be difficult for me to want to go to a game on Thanksgiving Day unless my family were coming to the game. If you're from out of town, you'd want to go home. So I'm wondering how that affects students.
Yeah, and I went to Ole Miss, and so as a student, I only went to the Egg Bowls my freshman and junior year, which were in Oxford, and the one in Starkville my sophomore year was on Thanksgiving Day, and I did not go to that because I stayed at home.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd go. Yeah, so. We got lots of people coming. Yeah, and if you are out here, come see us. We'd love to talk to you, and send us your pictures from the game and from the tailgate and from your Thanksgiving. We'd love to see them.
How can they send them?
You can tweet them to us at WLBT3 on your side, or comment on our Facebook pages. We got lots of posts on that site, or email news@WLBT.com with all your pictures.
So, you guys got any questions?
I
want to see some score predictions. Let's
go. I think the Rebels can pull off the upset, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for that, but I really think that they can do it.
Well, and I've been saying this stat like all week long since Monday when I read it. I just think it's interesting. As far as the spread goes, it might be a little bit different, but in the past, the favored team has not won the Egg Bowl since 2013. So State is the favored team today. It is at home, but in the past, since 2013, the favored team has not won the Egg Bowl.
And with Ole Miss this year, I think that, they have nothing to lose. Literally nothing to lose. This is the last game. This is seniors got to go all out their last time in red and blue, and I think they're gonna give it all, and I think they're gonna surprise some people.
We'll see. I think after, and as far as attendance goes, I think had Ole Miss won, 37-19 State. That's actually not too bad. That's a good one.
Not too bad.
It's not too bad. Rebels. Maybe he meant all the way, though.
All the way, yeah.
All the way.
Yeah.
But Ole Miss, as far as attendance goes, it's already in Starkville, so you're going to have a little bit more State fans than Ole Miss, I would imagine.
Walking around, I didn't see that many Ole Miss fans.
Plus, that loss to A&M, I think, really hurt a lot of attendance that would have showed up today. I wasn't at that game. Nick Ducote was at that game, but looking at the highlights,
it was heartbreaking. It was kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah, so I don't know. And as far as Rebel fans go, do you think that keeping Shea Patterson, you can't kept him. If Shea Patterson had not gotten hurt, if the outcome would have been different on that last, on the A&M game, if perhaps that's going to be the decision maker tonight. But I don't know that. Todd Grantham defense.
I think we got a State homer right here.
Oh, I'm not a State homer. I'll be honest with you guys. If I had to pick someone to win tonight, I would say Mississippi State, because they're they're the ranked team. They're the favored team. They come in really strong. The defense is outstanding. It's a home game. It's, the odds are in their favor. I wouldn't mind seeing an upset. I love upsets. That's what I live for.
And, personally, I am hoping for an atmosphere like the atmosphere for the Alabama game here in Starkville.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That apparently I was not here, but even on TV, that was an incredible crowd. And I think the crowd really, really, did a lot for that team.
We can talk about Alabama, just the game with Alabama. Let's see, Hope Mullins, Texas Miss. Mullins?
The game starts at 6:30, so we're about
an hour out.
An hour out, yeah.
An hour out. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, so SEC Network this morning, or I think it was SEC Network. I don't know what I was watching. Just had the TV on, and they weren't talking too much about the Egg Bowl because they're too concerned with the Iron Bowl. And I just thought I'd throw it in there that Auburn actually stands a better chance, I think, than Mississippi State did against beating the Tide, because they'll have all their injured players back for that game. I don't know. I still think Auburn has a better. Mississippi State had a better chance since the players were injured, but statistically on their end of the spectrum for that rivalry game, when both teams have been up top, when both teams have had winning seasons, I think it was like nine wins or more, then Auburn has historically won the game, and I believe it's in Auburn. Correct?
I think so.
So that'll be a good one this weekend. Another good.
Yes, it will be.
Yeah.
We were talking to some friends, and they were covering this game, and they're saying, since we don't have a Saturday game this week, that they might head over and watch that.
That'd be a good
Iron Bowl.
one. Yeah,
that'd be.
You have ever watched Iron Bowl? I'm going to watch LSU Texas A&M Saturday. This will be my second time seeing Texas A&M live this season, so that's interesting. But this will be my first football game as a fan since I graduated from LSU in 2016. So it's been a pleasure covering Mississippi State and Ole Miss, but I'm ready to go watch an LSU game too. See. What time's the game start? 6:30, guys. 6:30 p.m. Central Time.
Yes.
That's right.
So, does anybody have any questions? Anything? Yes, thanks, Susan.
Auburn. I hope you're making a joke out of that. That's pretty funny. Auburn. I know Chris really likes Auburn, but I was disappointed in Auburn Stadium when I went down for state when they played in Auburn. It wasn't, like I said, I'm spoiled. I went to LSU, so that's the only stadium I've known. Hey, I'm going to tell a friend hi. Hang on.
How are you? Good to see
You want to say hi to our Facebook Live?
No.
Okay. We have
Good seeing you.
from what I've heard from other players. I've heard from players that I knew at Ole Miss and former players that Auburn is a tough stadium to play in.
That's what I see, and that's what I've heard, and I expected so much more going into it. But I was spoiled growing up at Tiger Stadium. That's all I knew. That's all So I think Davis Wade is great. I love shooting games at Ole Miss. It was a joke. Don't like them. I figured. Good job, Susan. But I was not impressed. Texas A&M College Station, different story though. Yeah. That was impressive.
That's definitely a bucket list. I want to.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I talked to one of the Yell leaders. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, so tell me a little about what you do. Tell me about your job. Tell me the history. And he took a step back and told me about everything he does. So that was pretty nice.
Yeah. So are there any Ole Miss fans that are here in Starkville tonight?
Yeah. Because where are you guys at?
Or maybe you're not watching Facebook and you're enjoying your time at the game. That's probably what you're doing.
I saw someone said earlier they were watching from inside the stadium.
Yeah, there you go.
Congrats to your cell phone. What service?
What service do you have?
Because I don't know how Waverly even has service right now. I cannot get mine to work. So anyway, but if there's anything you guys want to see from us, or let us know, ask us
anything you want to see during the game, that we can see if we can try and get some.
Yeah, that too.
And I'm gonna try and do my best to post some behind the scenes action from Davis Wade. As a rebel in enemy territory, it's kind of hard.
So what's and you've probably been asked this 100 times today. What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish? Ladies, stick around too far.
Don't stop believing.
That's right.
I actually came to the Mississippi State LSU game a few weeks ago, a couple months ago, and that is very cool.
You went to the State LSU?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I did.
You went to.
I went to State LSU, and this Don't Stop Believing. I've heard it. I've heard that people have heard Don't Stop Believing 1.5 million times, but that was very cool to watch. Yeah. The entire stadium lights up, and Ole Miss tries to do something sort of similar, but does not execute it as well.
Yeah, I was at the Ole Miss LSU. Yikes.
Yeah,
I had a chance.
I was at that game. I was at that game too, and that was rough. That was rough.
Well, they had a chance to Shea Patterson. Have I missed the game? You have not, Renee. 6:30.
6:30. Yes. And then I think Rachel and Chris are going to be back on Facebook Live after the game.
Yeah.
Might be a little late, but if y'all are up, check it out.
It's going to be late. I'm going to be tired. I might have to be holding my eyes open like this.
We'll make sure she's awake. We'll get some coffee in her. And
all these cowbells.
The cowbells, man. Cowbells.
I don't want a cowbell.
I actually got a cowbell.
Go Rebels.
It does say Go Rebels. It is blue, and it says Go Rebels, hotty toddy on it. It's a joke from my family that are big state fans, and they were very disappointed when I chose to go to Ole Miss. And so they gave me a customized Ole Miss cowbell.
And there's somebody, Christine, one of our producers, asked me today if Louisiana had an in-state rival. So one of our producers went to Alabama, so she was talking about, no, we don't have earplugs.
We went to the dog walk, and oh my goodness, that is loud.
Let's look it up. But Christine went to Alabama, so we were talking about the Iron Bowl, and then we were talking about the Egg Bowl, and she's like, well, what does LSU have? We don't have an in-state rival.
So is this your big rivalry game, LSU Texas A&M?
No.
Is it LSU Alabama?
That was a conversation. It's really, I mean, when I was in school, so my freshman year, that was 2012.
It's an hour to kick off. Do you hear the bell?
Woo!
Oh,
2012, I would have said Alabama, and I feel like it's been Alabama for the younger classes to come through, but I guess if you date it back a little more, it would be Ole Miss.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of like, I kind of feel like it should be Ole Miss again, because why would it be Bama when LSU hasn't beat Bama in like
we would get a lot of that, and I know state fans say this too, where I consider Mississippi State Ole Miss's biggest rival.
Yeah.
But the LSU game has definitely,
for Ole Miss,
it definitely has grown as a rivalry game, and I have always wanted to beat LSU.
But I feel like there's no better rivalry game that I've covered than the Egg Bowl. I mean, mostly because the tables are usually pretty fair. You know. Don't know who's going to win, even if there is a favored team in this instance where Mississippi State is favored. Ole Miss is not out of the question, and it hasn't been. You know, it's been that way for a while. Neither team was just completely ruled
and
out.
I don't think you can ever go into an Egg Bowl and say, you know, this team is going to win, and this might be the year that's the most accurate.
Yeah.
But I think honestly, it can be anybody's game any year.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's college football.
It's college football. Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing, right? So.
It's a lot of fun.
I don't know if you guys are high school football fans out there, but we announced our Fox 40 Sports Deck Player of the Year last night. Don Ragsdale from Pisgah, running back with over 3,000 rushing yards on the season, and that's with missing 2 games due to a knee injury.
I mean, didn't he tear his...
I forgot what it was.
It was a meniscus tear, I believe, and
missed 2 games and still had 3,100 somewhat yards. I don't know the exact number. It's on my Facebook and Twitter. But yeah, that's crazy. And I wanted to ask, I wonder when the numbers stop on Max Preps. Is it after the regular season? Does it go into post game? Because their post game season didn't last that long. Pisgah's. I mean, they lost out in the second round.
I think they have. I think there is a regular season record, and then I think they also can add, plus.
I need to find that out because I'm wondering if the number that I was going off of.
Go Rebs Bear Sharks. We talked about this today before we left. Our chief photographer is a big state fan, and he said, "What even are you?" And oh look who's here.
Hey, I'm finally here. Hard to see. Hey guys.
It's dark.
Chris is here. Yes.
Not too dark for me. Anyway, hey. I was up in the press box going back and forth, putting a whole lot of fancy pregame video together, so you get to look at those coming up at 5:30, later in the 5:30 show on Fox 40, and of course at 6 over on WLBT.
Woo! Got some state fans.
Where is my credential?
Oh, well,
did you steal my credential, Chris?
We are gonna wrap this up. So we'll be back after the game, and we've got lots of state fans on here. So let's watch the game, and we and Chris wish you a very, very happy Thanksgiving, and we hope that you are full of lots of turkey and love and everything.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Happy
everyone.
Thanksgiving.